This morning I was all set to talk about UCLA's big win over USC. However, we just got this breaking news that Steve Sarkisian is leaving Washington to come back to USC. Now, what do I think about it? It's a good hire. I mean, first, he can recruit. I used to see him on the sidelines all the time looking at kids, and he was able to convince kids to come to Washington who had been overlooked by UCLA and USC, and he developed them really well. Which leads me to point two. He can develop talent really well. Look at how well Keith Price has come. Look at Bishop Sankey. Look at the defensive guys who've come to his program in the last couple of years. They've gotten better, and he knows how to make them enjoy the system and bring them to a place that a lot of Cali kids may not have considered before. So that's a good thing. Three, his offense is very balanced. For someone who used to be a quarterback, he is not afraid to run the ball a lot, as we saw with Bishop Sankey as your Pac-12 rushing leader. His offense is going to be very balanced, which is great because I think that's been USC's problem for so long was they passed so much, they abandoned the run, and we saw what happened this year when they turned to the run. On the other hand, his win-loss record, 34-29, it's a little shaky, but I think it's a little overrated. Why? He can win big games. He's beaten USC twice. He beat Stanford last year. He was in the game with Stanford this year. Even though they did get blasted by Oregon, I think he can win the games that matter, even though he had a weird loss to somebody that I can't remember who. But I do think that overall it's a good hire. I think that the one question mark I had was his defense, but I looked at some stats. His defense, which was ranked 105th in the country 2 years ago, is now in the top 60 for the last 2 years, including 35th last year, which is a huge upgrade, and it's in the top half of the Pac-12, which is really good. So I think it's a good hire. I think it's a safe hire. I think it's predictable, but it's what USC would do. They want someone in the family. They want somebody who knows the Pac-12. They got their guy. And for somebody who went to West Torrance High School, he comes back home, and I think he'll do pretty well here. So that's my thoughts on it. Peace.